Security camera footage showed masked men storming the fast food restaurant, while frightened workers and customers fled through the back door. The men then started breaking windows and LED screens, damaging chairs, tables, kitchen utensils, and more. Minutes later, security forces arrived at the scene and fired warning shots as the perpetrators ran back to their car and sped away. Several days earlier, similar violence occurred at Lee's famous Recipe Chicken and Chili House. In another incident, a sound bomb was thrown outside a Caterpillar Company store, shaking the neighborhood and leaving a small hole in the street. All the stores attacked were American brands popular in the Iraqi capital. Last week, there were also protesters carrying Palestinian and Iraqi flags marching to PepsiCo's offices in Baghdad, shouting "No to agents" and "No to Israel." Another protest took place outside Procter & Gamble, P&G offices. Two officials from Iran-backed militias in Iraq confirmed to the Associated Press that the attackers were their supporters. Their aim in doing so was to promote a boycott of American brands and hinder their presence in the country. It is also an effort to improve the militia's image, said the officials, who spoke on condition of anonymity in line with their group's rules. Although no one was seriously injured, the recent attacks reflect growing anger towards the United States, Israel's main ally, over the war in Gaza. The Iraqi government has for years walked a fine line between Washington and Tehran, but the 8-month war in Gaza has raised the stakes critically. The conflict erupted after the Hamas militant group invaded southern Israel on October 7, killing around 1,200 people, mostly civilians, and taking 250 hostages. Israel's subsequent offensive on Gaza has killed more than 36,000 Palestinians in the territory, according to the health ministry there. Days after the war erupted, a coalition of Iranian-backed militias dubbed the Islamic Resistance in Iraq launched dozens of attacks on bases hosting U.S. troops in Iraq and eastern Syria. The attacks stopped in February, but only after a series of U.S. retaliatory strikes following a drone strike on a base in Jordan that killed 3 American soldiers. The attacks on U.S.-linked businesses and brands in Iraq in late May and early this week were a change in tactics intended to maximize anti-U.S. sentiment over Washington's support for Israel.